Boom, it's time for bass. Hey guys, what's up? It's Axel here, and today I've got something seriously exciting, something unique. This is the Punch Audio Martilo. Punch Audio is a new brand, and Martilo is their first release, and let me tell you, they're coming in strong with this one. The Martilo is a tribrid IEM, meaning it's rocking 3 different types of drivers. You've got 2 8mm dynamic drivers, 2 balanced armatures, and 1 microplanar. Comes in at a price of around $330, and yeah, as usual, let's start with what you get in the box. Now, obviously, you get 2 Martilo earpieces, a really nice modular cable, which I will get to in a second. You do get swappable 3.5 and 4.4 terminations for the modular cable, 3 sets of narrow-bore silicone ear tips, 3 sets of foam ear tips. You get also extra nozzle filters and a really nice carry case. The carry case is very sturdy. It has a square design with rounded edges. It's actually not small, not big, really nice. It's roomy, it feels protective, and has space inside to fit your IEMs, cable, some ear tips, and even a dongle. And you can carry it like that, and the Punch Audio logo is actually a very nice touch. Let's talk about the cable for a second and allow me to gush about the cable, because this cable is awesome and I really love it. This is a modular cable, so you can swap 3.5 and 4.4 terminations. Usually I prefer them to be a screw mechanism, but actually here it's actually tight, like it stays in place. It doesn't like slip, you know, or easily come off or anything like that, so that's really cool. The cable itself is a 4-wire weave with average thickness, and it has a very nice feeling to it. It feels premium, man. It feels expensive, and it basically has everything I'm looking for in a cable. The color is nice, matches the IEMs. There are no microphonics. If I put the cable flat on the table, it stays flat. It has no memory. It's not memory prone. If I wrap it and unwrap it, you know, it doesn't have a memory. So that's nice. It's a pleasure to use and easy to manage and to wrap and unwrap. The chin slider even works. Maybe it works a bit too well. It's a bit tight, but it stays in place. It doesn't like slide around or anything like that. So that is awesome. And you also get this left and right markings on the 2-pin connector. I have to say this is one of the better stock cables I've seen at this price point. If I talk about design, fit, build, and comfort for a second, I will say the build is really nice. You've got 2 face plates right here that have like black and red colors. There's even some sparkles here that look cool. I will add a few pictures that show that. In my opinion, I love the design. I think it's really gorgeous. Some people I noticed like they don't like the logo to be on the faceplate for some reason. I don't care, actually. I don't focus on that, but some people do. There you go. There's no logo on the faceplate. The logo's right here, and the logo looks very cool. There you go, Punch Audio. So that is nice. The build itself is average. It's not small. It's not big, you know, so really nice. And you get 2 metal nozzles, and the nozzle itself has a proper lip to hold onto your ear tips, which is really cool. The nozzle could be a bit short sometimes. Like I feel it's like that, but in practice with my ears, actually, I never had any issue with it. I got a deep fit, actually. Very good seal. It never moved or anything like that. And the interesting part here for me is that the nozzle diameter is small. It's 5.9mm at the widest point and 5.0mm below the lip, which is great news. For me personally, I had no issues whatsoever getting a good seal with the Martilo. Narrow bore ear tips with wide bore ear tips, liquid silicone ear tips. The shape is nice. It's ergonomic. You got a big vent hole here for those of you who are sensitive to pressure buildup issues. Yeah, even though it has a big vent hole, I actually got very good passive noise isolation from it. Overall, super comfortable. The seal is amazing. You can wear it for a long, at least my experience with it, I could wear it for long listening sessions. I had no fatigue, no discomfort whatsoever. I mean, overall, the design here is fantastic. So, all of that is nice. Let's talk about the important stuff now, the stuff that really matters, which is the sound. And let's look at the frequency response graph, and boom, let's go. That is the bass I'm talking about. This is about the bass, but the best part is, even though the Martilo is a bass head IEM, it isn't just about the bass. This one is for bass lovers and bass head who still want mid-range clarity and treble detail, for people who don't want to sacrifice the vocals to get their bass. Obviously, you'll get a massive sub-bass emphasis here, but still, like, the mids are forward, the treble is well extended, so it's not just a bass cannon. There is balance here, there's finesse, and it's done really nicely. Let's talk about the bass, because it's obviously this is the star of the show for the Martilo. I could describe it like this. It's tight, it's controlled, it's textured and boosted. The sub-bass response here goes really deep, and you get that amount of mid-bass that gives you the strong punch, the strong slam, and at the same time, the bass here doesn't bleed into the mids, so that's really awesome to see. Some of the tracks I tested, and I will mention them in case you have the Martilo to try them with me. One of the tracks I liked a lot on the Martilo was like James Blake, Limit to Your Love. If you have the Martilo, try it at 55 seconds. The sub-bass drop that happens is visceral. The rumble is visceral. Like, if you have the Martilo, check out that track, James Blake, Limit to Your Love, 55 seconds. Visceral sub-bass drops. If I go and I try like Deadmau5, Hypnocurrency, Angel by Massive Attack, Why So Serious from The Dark Knight, the rumble and the sense of physicality from those tracks tracks is just awesome. It's very enjoyable. Like, it's not just about the rumble with the Martilo as well. The mid bass is there, it's strong, it's textured, there's good amount of detail. You can follow the bass notes, but obviously the bass notes are very exaggerated and boosted, but still it's not like, you know, boomy or bloated or anything like that. For example, there is a good amount of clean, detailed punch. For example, like Kendrick Lamar's track Humble, those aggressive 808s sound tight, they sound punchy, they sound dynamic. If you listen to, like, for example, Marilyn Manson, Killing Strangers, that track, the punch is wild, very physical, very strong. And like even like busy tracks, you know, like for example Bangarang by Skrillex, that track usually shows if the bass is tight or controlled or bloated, you know, and the Martilo just stays under control, even though the track is very busy and chaotic and has a lot of action. So this isn't just a one-noted boosted bass, this is actually detailed, punchy, and dynamic, and doesn't bleed into the mids, which is really nice to see. If I talk about the mids, despite all that bass, the mids are actually still surprisingly clear. Like, there is a good amount of vocal clarity for bass headsets. It's not going to be like the Keyword's Astral in terms of clarity, obviously, but the vocals here are present, they're not shouty, and the upper mids still bring that energy, and even at higher volumes, I didn't find them fatiguing. For example, like Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, the bass is there, it's enjoyable, the slam is there, but the female vocals were also clean, they're not husky, they're not congested. For example, Lose Yourself to Dance by Daft Punk, the bass and vocals, you know, stay in harmony. Like, the bass on the Martilo is dominant, but it's not overwhelming, and there is a difference between those two. Vocals will not be front and center, but they're not lost either, and you can enjoy the bass and still enjoy, you know, the words. And the same thing also with Notorious B.I.G. and so on. If I talk about like the treble here, I'll say it's crisp, smooth, non-fatiguing. That's the best way for me to describe it. There is no sibilance whatsoever, no harshness, no fatigue, even like with anything I was listening to. Highs that were just sounding crisp and solid, good treble extension. It's not very airy, you know, but it has that crisp sparkle to it that's really nice. It stays controlled, and even like, you know, allows me to listen to even metal music like Day That Never Comes by Metallica, for example. I don't need to lower the volume, I can listen to metal music, I can listen to hip-hop, I can raise the volume. Treble never comes to bite or anything like that, so that's really cool. If I talk about the technical performance here, I will say for a bass-heavy IEM, the Martilo's technical performance is actually good. Like, on my technical scale, like, I would put this like, let's say like roughly 60% between the Nova and the Pilgrim, which is actually pretty good. So while the level of detail here is actually good, the separation and the imaging were actually great. Like, the imaging was precise and the level of separation was actually great for a bass headset. And I will give an example, like for example, Shatter Me by Lindsey Sterling. I love Lindsey Sterling and her music. On that track, actually, that's a very busy track. It's a chaotic track, a lot of busy passages. You got a lot of fast violins, a lot of bass drops. It's chaos. You know, the track has a lot of energy and a lot of action going on. The Martilo actually holds it well together. Like, it will not obviously give you the same layering and the same clear distinction that you get with a set like the Keyword's Astral, but for a bassy set, the level of separation here is great, especially when you get a lot of bass going on. So let's talk about the first comparison here today, and I will do a very important comparison actually. This is the Hisenior MegaFest Bass Plus. I really like this IEM as well. Both of these come with beautiful cables. I love both of these cables, but the Martilo comes with a modular cable, which is a nice touch. The MegaFest Bass Plus has like an adapter. Design-wise, it's going to be subjective. I feel both of these are beautiful, but man, they are similar. Like, check this out, you know, like even the vent hole is in the similar place. So anyway, interesting. So what are the differences between both of these IEMs? Before I say that, I actually have some shocking news. I will say actually I kind of enjoyed the Martilo more. Yes, I enjoyed the Martilo more. Why is that? Because the Martilo sounded more fun to me, it sounded more engaging, and it had better vocal clarity. The bass on the Martilo, I noticed, hits just harder, like slightly. It has a slightly more sense of rumble, slightly stronger sense of physicality, and when comparing them, I can feel that difference. Like, the bass attack is slightly sharper, it's slightly stronger, and on top of that, it gives me a bit more vocal clarity, which is impressive for a bass focused set. If we ignore the price for a second, I will say it really comes down to preference. Do you want smoother treble, which is actually slightly smoother by the way, and slightly fuller mids? This is your thing. If you want stronger bass, any more exciting, engaging, more physical listen, the Martilo is the one. But here is the kicker, guys, and this is important. When you factor in the price, the Martilo just destroys the value game. You're getting nearly the same level of sound quality you're getting here with stronger bass and more vocal clarity, or at least the more physical bass, okay, with more vocal clarity for a lot less money. And yeah, unless like you really need that smooth smoother treble on the MegaFest? In my opinion, the Martilo here is the obvious choice. If I had to recommend one to a friend, and I think of all of you guys as friends, I would say go Martilo, okay? No hesitation, it's a no-brainer. It gives you nearly the same sound quality of the Bass Plus, and punches above its price. Yes, punches. Pun fully intended. Okay, so just one thing I want to mention quickly is for people who got already the Bass Plus version, I'll say they already got something great as well. EST drivers obviously are expensive, and it definitely shows in how smooth the treble is. I would just say the Martilo is the value. Alright, a quick comparison here for the Xenns Tea Pro. I chose this because it comes in at a similar price point. It has 2 DDs, and both of these IEMs bring boosted bass to the table, but they're pretty different. I'll say the Tea Pro is what I would call a bass lover's IEM. It's a bassy all-rounder for bass lovers. Got great bass quality, great texture, very strong slam, but still more balanced. Like, it puts more focus on the vocals and the instruments. You can enjoy those things more as they are a bit more highlighted than the Martilo. The Martilo, though, is for bass heads. Like, it goes all in. Like, it's bold, you know, it's big, the rumbling bass, the serious impact. I would say, like, if you are someone who enjoys a bassy IEM but still want the vocals, you still want the treble and stuff like that, I would say the Tea Pro is that. Still has the bass boost, it's still fun. But if you know your preferences, like, you know what you want, the level of bass that you enjoy, and you tried something like the Tea Pro and you're like, yeah, man, this is nice, but I really want more bass, then the Martilo is definitely your destination. You can skip these obstacles like the Tea Pro. Still, though, because the level of bass between both of these IEMs is really big, I can still feel that someone can have this IEM and still get the Martilo. It's not redundant because there is a big gap, at least in terms of the level of bass between them. Let's talk about who I recommend the Martilo to. Obviously, bass heads. If you live for that deep, powerful bass, the sub bass, the punchy slam, I feel the Martilo is made for you. Number 2, I recommend it for bass lovers who still want clarity. People who want the rumble, they want the strong sense of punch in the mid bass, but they don't want to sacrifice the mids, the vocals, and the treble detail. I recommend it also for value. You're getting a sound quality here that competes with higher priced IEMs for much less. And number 4, I recommend it if you care about accessories, if you care about comfort. For me, the build, the comfortable fit, the small nozzle, and the great stock cables are things that makes it really competitive at this price point. Who I don't recommend the Martilo to, I will say if you don't like lots of bass. Bass is basically a preference. There's no right or wrong here. I enjoy this level of bass, even though I'm not a bass head. The physicality and rumble that I find enjoyable might be too much for you. So if you don't like lots of bass, I don't recommend it. Number 2, I don't recommend it also if you are looking for a balance or reference tuning. The Martilo is a bass head set, okay? Bass head set or bass lover set as well. It's all about the fun and enjoyment. It's not about the neutrality. Let's give this thing a final rating, and you can look at my rating system, what it means. And I'm going to give the Punch Audio Martilo a solid 4 stars out of 5. I feel this is an excellent IEM. It's very good. It's definitely competitive. And yes, punch is above its price. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.